What's the real reason you're single? I suck at starting conversations. I enjoy talking and don't think I'm too socially awkward, but I just don't like being the one to start. And maybe no one finds me attractive either, lol. I am unable to make the first move. Some kind of fear prevents me from doing it. I wait too long and lose the girl and heartbreak ensues. I'd give anything to break this crappy cycle. I nearly never make the first move too. I made a slap bet with 5 of my friends to get out of it. A couple of them I knew would slap me hard as crap if I lost the bet. So literally the week after I hit on a girl at a party, she fell face first and got really hurt before I could get anywhere. I swear if there's a god, he really enjoys cock-blocking my butt. I'm a pretty bad boyfriend, to be honest. I get tired of people and want to be left alone for long periods of time. That's not great for relationships. Mix that with some trust issues and well, at least I got my hand. Yep, I'm great on paper and a decent person, I think. But not a good boyfriend husband. Not abusive, but lose affection and would rather be doing my hobbies. Single for 5 years now. I stayed single after my past relationship because I realized that I have much more freedom than I did when I used to be in being in relationships. I can do anything I want without having to worry about anyone else. Less stress. I know what you mean. That is why I want to stay single. I like being single. I like the peace and quiet of it. Sometimes, someone outweighs the benefits of that, but usually, not. Why are you not single? This exactly. If I find someone who's worth giving up the perks of living alone, that'll be great. Unlikely but great. My self-confidence is at an all-time low after my previous girlfriend. It's been almost 2 years and I'm still not in the mood for another relationship. Coming close to 4 for me. I know exactly how you feel. In no particular order. Waited too long to get started. I'm now at an age where most of my peers are coupled and raising kids. Having never been on a date or experienced any kind of romantic intimacy at this point is shameful, and I can't imagine anyone accepting me if they knew this. Oh, did I mention my hair is going grey from head to toe? That's distressing. Self-esteem dependency issues. I was very sensitive to teasing when I was younger and struggled to fit in living in an affluent, white, Christian suburb. It's made me a naturally quiet and introverted person who's hesitant to speak up out, even when I always dreamed of being the life of the party, or just being invited to a party. Not to mention that I grew up with an absent father and absent-minded mother who prevented me from being independent and taking control of my life when I was a young adult. I now fear moving out and being on my own and likely never will. Lack of friends. The few friends I've made in the past 10-15 years were ultimately just using me for something, and once they got that something, I never heard from many of them again. It's like people could sense that I was naive and eager for any scrap of interaction and they took advantage of it. It's made me guarded and slightly distrusting of people. Even though I desperately crave friendship, I haven't got a clue where I can go to meet sincere people at this stage of life. Depression. All of this has completely crushed my spirit and will to live. I now spend weekends in bed. I haven't filed my taxes in years and I'm past due on a few bills. I stopped exercising a few months ago. I think about killing myself every day and cry on a regular basis. I don't know how to continue and I would truly be grateful to die. I remember being a teenager and wondering when I'd meet that person and have my first kiss, my first relationship, my first heartbreak, etc. Every year I'd ask myself, is this the year that time has passed, and I now realize it's gone. Because I can't seem to believe that any man would want a woman like me, so I just bury myself in work and focus on getting degrees instead. INB 400s of DMs from thirsty guys. I took care of my late papa for 6 years and nephews for 2 of those. I didn't want to make anyone feel that they had to sign up for what I did. Now, I am adjusting to life without my papa and being alone for the first time in my life. I have come to like being alone. I also wouldn't know where to begin looking. I gave up. Crap was too annoying for me after so much rejection. Made me feel unwanted, unattractive, etc. Almost like my ex was right about me. And don't give in to what your ex thinks of you. Your ex for a reason. Because I'm not the guy you end up with. I'm the guy that gets you to the one you're supposed to end up with. Nobody has seen me as the choice, only an option. I'm the girl version of this. Totally. I am extremely scared to hurt another person. Also by that I'm not willing to be vulnerable, to open up. After few relationships I'm scared of my own energy and how intense can I be. I know that someday I'll have to open up and I'm sure it's coming. But I'm not ready and I want to work on my career and skills. I know that someday I'll have to open up and I'm sure it's coming. But I'm not ready and I want to work on my career and skills. Even just knowing this is a huge accomplishment. Work on yourself without judgment from others. When you're ready, you'll know it. I think I approach it the wrong way. I come off as just wanting to be friends, so probably put people off thinking that I'm not interested in them in the relationship kind of way. I guess. I can't decide what kind of person I am. I enjoy a wide range of hobbies and activities. From outdoor stuff like backpacking and scuba diving, to nerdy stuff like video games and D&D. On top of that I seem to flip back and forth between being outgoing and social, or wanting to just shutter myself in and play video games, watch shows, stream Twitch, etc. I feel like the extroverted outdoorsy side of me desperately wants a companion to share experiences with, but the introverted side of me just wants to get home from work and unwind with some gaming. This is what I think about. It's also entirely possible I'm just a crappy person, crappy boyfriend, lazy, not willing to put in the effort, etc. 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 Maybe I can explain in words. I think I have fear of commitment and the idea to spend a lot of time together. It's nice and fun to have someone and be happy, but I like my alone time too. And I think I am scared to lose someone. Lost my mom in 2012, had cancer. Probably has to do with that too. Something in my head is holding me back and ignoring trying to aviate those things. I got a lot of good friends. Like to party and social life is good, so IDK what's really stopping me for a relationship. I don't go out to the places people meet other people. I'm awkward. And I'm ace, so I'm too afraid to get to know someone and have them drop me for it. I don't know how to flirt. My crushes usually see me as a friend and I can be a jerk. Also I have trouble saying I love you. I'm divorced. It ruined my life financially. I dated a bit afterward. There's only two ways it goes. Either back to being single or to another marriage. The thought of getting married again terrifies me. If I do, she needs to have a 2+ mil net worth and a good job, while being a decent person and sexually attractive. So I'm basically looking for a unicorn because I don't want to risk being the breadwinner and having my crap go by again. I don't know, but I think I have trust issues. My self-esteem is really low and I think I still have crush on a friend who friend-zoned me 2 years ago. Sorry for my bad English. If it's any consolation, your English looks pretty good. I don't know how to take a relationship from platonic to romantic. PLZ save me. I've been in love with all my friends and I don't know how to express it. I've been in love with all my friends. That sounds like you become infatuated with anyone that pays any attention to you, not love. I did decades of taking care of people and now that my kids are grown, I have no desire to have my life governed by someone else's anxieties, fears and needs. My own are quite enough to deal with. I really don't need anyone, so I would be in a relationship with the right like-minded co-conspirator, but I'm content to be myself until they come along, if they ever do. And yes, I am very happy and content on my own. I think subconsciously go after people that I know are unavailable because I am too scared of a relationship actually working out. Pretty sure mine is called severe singleness syndrome. 1. Chronic loner. I don't like big groups of people, so I rarely go to bars, clubs. I don't have any friends in the town we live, and still live with my parents. Crappy financial decisions. 2. Social anxiety. I have no idea how to approach someone. 3. Useless at reading people. What is flirting? 4. Awkward personality. I get weird when I like someone, and so far it's pushed most away. 5. Jealousy. I blame this one on my first serious GF who cheated on me twice. But if somehow a girl gets past the other issues, I'm a pretty jealous guy. Autism and a dislike of parties. It's not other people's fault, I dislike the largest sort of social function people my age go to. Being ugly. Too bored to put effort. I'm not sure what to tell you then. I am not a very manly guy. I am not handy. Have no goals or aspirations. And my interests are all very niche. My humor, for what it's worth, is dark and sometimes a bit too perverse. Not creepy perverse, just generally perverse. I am not actively seeking out someone else. I have no muscle strength and have been balding since a young age. I have a very weak immune system. I tend to carry on about niche crap in converse and unintentionally one-up people in the moment and only realize my mistake after conversations. I miss very obvious flirtation and have somewhat high standards for a partner. Frankly, I am amazed I am not a virgin. Depends how long you've got to listen to me rattle the reasons off. For starters, I have crippling anxiety, and I'm currently between jobs, so I'm broke as well as being unable to hold a conversation. Then there's the fact that my type seems to be women who will eventually cheat on me. Every relationship I've ever had, including an engagement that saw me prepare to move to another country and my most recent having her infant son involved, has ended with them shacking up with another guy and cutting me out of their lives without a goodbye. Then there's my depression and sense of humor. I have a fairly dry wit and am fond of self-deprecating humor. I was recently on a date with a girl way out of my league, who took me to go drinking and bought me a fair few JD and Cokes despite not drinking herself. On the way back she suggested she come see me in my hometown. She lives in Nottingham. I'm in Leicester, and hating my city. My response was something along the lines of, yeah, you don't wanna do that. It's kinda crap there, hahaha, we should go somewhere else. After that date I never heard from that girl again. Unmatched on Tinder. Never called. The whole shabam. In hindsight I realize it kinda sounded like I didn't want to see her again, which after a very awkward night with little conversation besides me nervously rambling about myself must have been the nail in the coffin. I'm now very much against the idea of relationships. They're few and far between, but I always seem to end up worse off after each and every one. I left the one. I was a pose. It's been years now. The only difference is now I know I'm a pose, so I'm not going to put anyone else through that. I actually respect you being honest. Sounds like you legitimately are a piece of crap, but at least you admit it. I hold you in higher regards than most pieces of crap, if that means anything to you. I've always found this to be a bit of an odd question. Why is anyone single? Because they haven't found the right person yet. People don't just have a partner by default. It takes a considerable amount of effort, the right circumstances, and often an extreme amount of luck to find someone compatible enough to enter into a relationship with. If you listen to couple stories about how they met, it's often in the craziest and most unlikely circumstances. And even then, there's no guarantee it will last, and if it doesn't, it's back to square one. Finding the right person is hard. My wife of 10 plus years died a few years ago. I had a girlfriend afterwards for a little while, but that was a total disaster. I've already met the love of my life. I just don't have the desire or energy for a relationship anymore. Oh, there is a very long list. But here's a short list. Unemployed and no idea what I want to do. I've technically never held a job. Still live at home. No social life at all. Last time I saw one of my friends was 4 years ago. 9 for the other one. No hobbies to speak of. I've got my computer, working on or driving my car, and working on projects around the house. That's about it. I am in my mid-30s and never dated. I am so far behind the curve that I can't even begin to explain what that feels like. Add all that up and I just don't even see a point in trying to date. I've got too many problems and I am not going to try and drag someone else into it. I'm not comfortable in my own skin. How could someone else like me if I don't even like myself? Everyone always tells me I'm attractive, but I never actually feel like it. I've been looking for a relationship for a long time, but I now realize that some of my issues are stopping me. Have to work on those said issues before involving myself with anyone. I have issues with physical intimacy stemming from childhood trauma. In a college environment that makes it very hard to form a relationship, because everybody seems to want to shag non-stop. I can't do that right at the start of a relationship. changed a lot over the past few months. Quitted drinking and going to parties. Went through a hard time mentally. Girlfriend left me because I didn't give her enough attention in this period. Everyone in my college class is at least 5 years older than me. Some are even as old as 50, and that is my only form of human interaction at the moment. A combination of social anxiety, trust issues, PTSD, and society telling me to man up. I'm 23, I'm too young for this kind of stress. I hate people. I've been in too many relationships where I put in all of the work and I never got what I needed. They just always wanted more and I was never good enough. I'm not about selfishness and I want to get the same love that I give in return. Multiple. 1. I'm born with an autoimmune disorder in which it attacks the skin. As a result, I'm scarred almost everywhere and lived most of my life in isolation of others thanks to my appearances. Which brings us to the next step. 2. I didn't really have the chance to interact with anyone else other than my family thanks to my appearances, and I can't really try to get involved since I barely know what everyone else appears to know. Talking about myself without other people asking about it feels narcissistic, and even when they do ask, I don't know how much I want to tell. Tried to be friendly, but it's hard to maintain conversation when it's hard to click. 3. Recently went to the therapist for help with some memory issues lately. She had an initial diagnosis of dissociative amnesia, but needed second opinion and sent me on an appointment with another hospital's psychiatrist's division. I may or may not had this for a long time and never really noticed cause, you know, amnesia. That might explain why some people said I'm annoying. I probably keep repeating the same thing over and over. So, yeah. Introverted, but mostly, I'm super insecure about my appearance. I don't think I'm super ugly and I can scrub up well, but I have a bit of extra weight that I've been trying to shift for a while now. I've put it on over the last year or so after going on some medication and I feel like no one could be attracted to me until I lose it. Though, I am a little bit worried because even when I didn't have it, I still thought I was too big and no one could find me attractive, despite the fact that I was within a healthy BMI range. Perhaps I'll never see myself as attractive enough, and that really impacts my motivation to find someone. For me to actually like someone, they have to like me back. Like if someone says they like me, I'll crush on them even harder. Everyone at my school thinks that my friend and I are dating because we look like a couple and hang out together, but I don't like him unless he says he likes me back. I just don't feel like dating, and I know I'm not really ready to be with anyone at the moment. I went on this date and it went really well, but when I got home I just realized that no matter how much I liked them, or anyone else, I wasn't in the headspace to share my life with anyone and I had to let the person go because it wasn't fair to hang on to them and go on more dates when I knew that I couldn't really be there for them emotionally. Being single feels like a blessing sometimes. I feel like I can just work on myself and figure out what I like without worrying about another person. Oh god, where do I begin? 1. Ugly as frick. 2. Annoying as heck. I'm not even that loud or talk too much, but when I do talk, oh holy heck I go off. 3. I clearly have a lot of problems with my self-image and I basically self-loathe myself. 4. I spend all my time on this earth by myself, so I have no experience with people in general. 5. I'm also a really big overthinker and think anything I do is stupid on some kind of level. 6. On the verge of having anxiety. So, as anyone who happens to read this godforsaken comment, I'm pretty fine. Have a nice life. Blah blah blah. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.